80 years old, and you might have lost half your muscle mass, but a newly discovered daily habit could reverse this in record time. Why is this so crucial? Because 93% of seniors are unaware of this scientifically proven method, validated by Harvard and the Mayo Clinic, to effectively reclaim strength and independence. Sarcopenia, the silent erosion of muscle, affects millions, often beginning quietly in our 30s and rapidly accelerating after 60. The stakes are high. As muscle dwindles, everyday life becomes harder, from climbing stairs to simply rising from a chair. But what if you could change your trajectory with a small yet powerful shift, taking less than 15 minutes per day? Stay with us to find out how. 2. Body, 4 to 6 value points. Value point 1. Sarcopenia is not an inevitable part of aging. Let us first clarify a widespread misconception. Muscle loss is not simply a natural result of aging. Sarcopenia is a preventable, often reversible condition. Peer-reviewed research in the Journal of Physiology reveals that adults in their 70s and 80s can have the same functional ability as those in their 40s. The secret is not rare genetics or expensive treatments. Rather, it is the adoption of one pivotal daily habit. This subtle shift forms an astonishing difference, yet so few know it exists. You may wonder, what is really happening beneath the surface? The answer comes next, and it unveils why muscle doesn't simply disappear with time. Value point 2, strongest. The underlying mechanisms and the power of progressive resistance. The real culprit is not age alone, but chronic inflammation, poor movement quality, hormonal fluctuations, and lacking muscular activation. If your body stops receiving the signal to maintain and build muscle, it simply ceases its efforts. This leads to severe repercussions, not only for strength, but also metabolism, balance, and resilience to falls. Falls, often due to muscle weakness, hospitalize more than 300,000 seniors annually. Now for the transformative solution, a single daily shift known as progressive resistance training. Contrary to popular advice, it is not about endless hours in the gym or lifting tremendous weights. Esteemed institutions like Harvard, Mayo Clinic, Tufts University, and McMaster University agree. The key is increasing the challenge to your muscles, however modestly over time. What truly matters is intensity, safely administered, consistently applied, and purposefully scaled. In studies, seniors performing just 2 30-minute sessions a week, to the point of mild fatigue, gained far more strength than those training 5 days weekly at lower effort. Crucially, even brief bodyweight exercises, such as planks, slow squats, wall push-ups, or resistance band rows, can stimulate the biological signals that spark muscle growth, even into one's 8th decade of life. This makes one wonder, if building muscle is this accessible, what key mistakes might be holding people back? The answer may surprise you. Value point 3. The critical mistakes most make when trying to combat muscle loss. Surprisingly, most efforts to stem muscle loss are inadvertently accelerating it. Outdated advice and ingrained myths, like relying on lengthy walks or endless repetitions with light dumbbells, fail to trigger actual muscle development, particularly as we age. The body requires novel stimulus. Using the same resistance leads to stagnation and regression. Equally, isolating individual muscles, like only performing biceps curls, achieves little for genuine strength and overall independence. What is the number one error? Failing to train to the point of momentary muscular fatigue. Evidence from McMaster University illustrates that even light weights, if taken to the threshold where you cannot complete another repetition with perfect form, signal the brain to rebuild muscle stronger. The fear of exertion or injury often keeps seniors from pushing appropriately, but paradoxically, it is insufficient challenge that more often results in harm, through increased risk of falls, slower metabolism, insulin resistance, and loss of autonomy. If this is clarifying the issue, consider subscribing. There is more to come that ties it all together. If you are aiming for real progress, the guiding principle is to challenge your muscles, not your joints. Simple movements, performed with focus and consistency, can set off dramatic change. But does this really work for ordinary people? Value point 4. Real-world evidence. Super-agers defy expectations. The answer is a resounding yes, as shown by the remarkable group researchers have dubbed super-agers. Individuals in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s who possess the strength and agility of those decades younger. Their secret is the consistent practice of progressive resistance, often as simple as daily brief strength routines. In landmark studies, seniors who integrated timing of protein consumption with resistance training gained notable muscle, some even regaining functional abilities lost for years. Notably, seniors in their 80s who began resistance training, sometimes for the first time, experienced muscle gains of up to 3.3 pounds and abs membrenos in 3 months, along with improved balance, bone density, cognition, and better blood sugar regulation. These are not exceptional athletes, but everyday individuals who chose to send their bodies a powerful signal to adapt and grow. If this is possible, what is the science underpinning such extraordinary turnarounds? The next section reveals the physiological breakthroughs making all this possible. Value point 5. The 5 scientific breakthroughs that make resistance training non-negotiable. Why does resistance training remain so unparalleled for senior health? There are 5 converging discoveries. 1. Reversing anabolic resistance. Muscles become less responsive to growth signals with age, but resistance training resensitizes them, making both protein and exercise more effective. 2. Activating longevity genes. Intense muscular contractions spark longevity genes that drive repair and anti-aging at the cellular level. 3. Fighting inflammaging. Chronic inflammation hastens muscle breakdown. Resistance training through anti-inflammatory cytokines helps quell internal damage. 4. Stimulating muscle protein synthesis. Actual muscle growth occurs post-exercise through repair, a process resistance training amplifies for up to 72 hours after just 10 minutes of work. 5. Reinvigorating brain-muscle communication. The neuromuscular junction weakens with age, leading to instability and sluggishness. Resistance training restores this vital connection, sustaining balance and cognitive sharpness. Combining these advantages, one habit brings an array of biological upgrades. But how can you safely begin, even if you have not exercised in years? Value point 6. The 10-minute strength routine, simple, scalable, and effective. A full transformation requires neither a gym nor a personal trainer. All that is essential, your body, a little space, and a manageable blueprint. Start with 2 to 3 minutes of gentle mobility work to prepare the joints, such as marching in place, arm circles, or wall-supported heel raises. Then, prioritize 3 fundamental movement patterns: chair squats for leg and core strength, wall push-ups for chest and arms, and seated resistance band rows for back and posture. Each can be adapted to suit any ability and should be performed with slow, controlled motion until muscles near fatigue, your signal for growth. Aim for 2 rounds per movement pattern, 3 times per week. Track your efforts in a notebook or phone to build consistency and tangible progress. Recovery is equally vital. Hydrate, consume quality protein, and incorporate gentle walking or stretching on rest days to foster resilience. What if you wish to further accelerate results? Stay tuned. The next secret is more unconventional than one might expect. Bonus: optimizing results. The hidden habits. Most never consider beyond movement. Certain complementary practices can greatly enhance your results. Brief cold exposure, such as a cool shower, heat therapy, saunas, baths, or even time-restricted eating, such as an 8-hour eating window, operate as beneficial micro-stressors. Studies show that these methods improve muscle repair, cardiovascular function, hormonal balance, and recovery speed, often with as little as 10 minutes a day. When combined with resistance training, they further bolster muscle retention and strength. If you have found this useful, liking and subscribing helps more than you might imagine. 3. Outro. You have now uncovered how to restore muscle, reclaim confidence, and reprogram your body for rejuvenation rather than decline. Remember, age does not dictate strength, habits do. The decision to send your body the right signals is entirely yours. Strength is not a number, it's a message you choose to send. You have now conquered muscle loss, but if you wish to rebuild balance, sharpen memory, and truly turn back your biological clock, watch this next video. That is where it all comes together.